So my neighbor and I, we exchanged little gifts. That's how we share the love with each other. I got this little box at Goodwill, and it's got little paper in it. She loves birds, and she loves her flower beds, so it's flowers all over it. And then I found this at a yard sale, and I always buy her a heart keychain. That's how I'm sharing the love. Here's the two culprits that keep getting into my little flower garden and digging and throwing stuff everywhere. Nutty Lou and Rocky Sue. Rocky Sue is a barred rock. I don't remember what kind old Nutty Lou is. Nutty Lou has been laying an egg every other day, and she hasn't laid eggs for months. She lays a nice blue egg. So I even put a stoplight in my flower garden to try to keep the chickens out. But do you think chickens are going to abide by a stoplight? No, they're like, that crazy lady putting a stoplight out in the flower bed thinking that we are going to watch a stoplight. But then again, I've got a welcome mat right here at the edge of the flower bed, so what can you expect? Zoe says hi to Cousin Jeremiah over at Noah's Ark Nursery. Look at this, caught in the act. Starting to do her dirty work of throwing all of the bark out of the flower bed. Shame on you, Nutty Lou. Do you have any remorse? Nope. So these are some of my perennial flowers, and I have some cone flowers and some black-eyed Susans. I have these too, but I don't really know what they are, and the chickens keep digging them up. These are cone flowers that haven't bloomed yet. Here's the other perennial flowers like the ones I just showed. Some more cone flowers behind there. I bought these spinners at Dollar Tree. They're plastic, and they have a flower in the middle. And I bought 3 of them, and I only have 1 left that's still intact. We had a strong wind a couple of weeks right after I got them and tore them all to pieces. This one still swirls if it's a strong wind, even with one of the petals missing. And here's the other one. It was just totally destroyed. And here is my old bench. And it hasn't been painted for several years. I'll put a picture up of the last time I painted it. It looked really nice. But it does not look so nice now. It needs a good painting. I have the paint. I'm going to do it. Even the grapes look bad. And the vine looks worn and torn. It's a beautiful bench. It does have damage. It's got one leg that's not functional. I mean, it's there, but it's bent, and it needs to be welded. I don't know anybody to weld it, but if you just sit it up and you don't sit on it, it's fine. Very pretty decorative anyway. I think it's beautiful. I always like to watch Life with Lois as she shows her flower beds and what she's doing with her flowers and different things. And here's a nightlight that I just got at a yard sale about 3 weeks ago. It's a squirrel sleeping with his nut. And I asked them if it worked, and they said it did. Well, sometimes they do work, and sometimes they don't work. And guess what? It did work. And it's adorable. Here's the deer in the flower bed. This is all very rustic. I use the bark when the guys do the firewood. There's lots of bark, and I just throw it in here. It's very rustic. And here's Angel the cat coming out here to aggravate the hummingbirds. And I gotta shoo her away. And Mindy checking out where the chickens made a mess. They made a mess, didn't they, Mindy? Here's Mr. Owl. And he must have got in a fight or something because he lost his nose. But he stays in the flower bed too. And these are cone flowers. Cone flowers, cone flowers. And this right here is a big old fake vine in a basket. And I was over at Goodwill probably about 2 months ago, and I was looking at some flowers there on the shelf, and some lady says, "You like flowers? I've got a big bunch of flowers out in my car. You can have them." She said, "You can have everything I have out there." And I thought, I'm thinking flowers, you know, and I go out there and this was what it was, which is pretty. It's fine. But I didn't have a place for it in the house, so I just stuck it out here. Behave yourself, Nutty Lou. I'm watching you. This was my miniature rose pot. They all died because we had a harsh winter. I can't put the roses in the ground because the chickens eat the buds right off. There's a green frog for Show Us Your Elves, which is hosted by Penny at Playful Reborns and Jay at JDolls UK. And I don't know what those things are that are growing in here. Somebody knows? Let me know. But that's what's growing in there. And these little things spin. They're really cute, but they're old. So back here at the back of the flower bed, we have the remains of where my husband caught the flower bed on fire because we have a wood burner stove, and he came out here over the winter and dumped some hot ash right in all of this spark. And of course, what do you think is going to happen? And my son comes running and he says, "It's on fire! It's on fire!" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the house is on fire. What's on fire?" We come out here and the flower bed's on fire. But the scary thing is that right beside the flower bed is the woodshed. Lots of wood in there. So I made my husband get a big metal barrel to dump all the hot ash in. So since I can't have any real roses, here's some nice artificial ones. Some more of the perennial flowers. And at the back of the flower bed is the hummingbird feeder. I just had to fill it about an hour and a half ago, and they were going nuts because their feeder was getting very low. Nutty Lou, I can't believe you're doing that again. Now get out of here. Go on. Yeah, don't fuss at me. Here's the hen chicks pot. It is loaded with hen chicks. I used to have other lizards in here. I don't know where they went. If the cats got them, but there's only one little lizard in here now. Gonna have to get me some Dollar Tree lizards. You are just determined, aren't you? See, I had all this raked up just a little bit ago. Raked up to the grass. There's the keeper of the flower bed, Mr. Bear. His name is Blind Bartimaeus. And here's the little bear back in the corner. And if you notice, it's weeds and high grass. My husband does not seem to believe in using the weed eater. So anything that I take out has to be pulled out by hand. And that takes some doings. And right here we have a small buckeye tree growing with a tomato fence around it. We were given that little buckeye tree at a yard sale. Not last summer, but the summer before, and I planted it, and all the leaves fell off, and it sat there and didn't do anything, but it didn't look like it was dead. So I left it, and this year, lo and behold, the leaves started coming out. But I do need to pull the weeds out from around it, for sure, which I will do. It's just that in the springtime, the weeds just all of a sudden start growing like crazy, and it's hard to keep up with for a while. And this is Mindy, and she says hello to Trixie. Hello, Mindy. Say hi to Trixie. It's a Mindy. Mindy, Mindy, Mindy. Hop up, Mindy. Come on. Say hello. And Trixie is over at Rebecca's Cloud Kids Nursery. We all love Trixie, and we all love seeing Trixie in the videos. So this is the old swing, and I've been taking this little hand brush and scraping off all of the loose paint because I want to repaint it. And this, although it doesn't really match the swing, we bought it to put the swing on. And I need to clean it and repaint it. And there's a nice little spider web. You can see it. And I just pulled these out of the trash. And I didn't realize that they are magnetic. I had put them over together because I want to paint them. And when I discovered that they're magnetic, then I went to paint them and put them on the swing, on the sides of the swing. And they're pretty strong, magnetic too. And that one on the other side. Transplanting this plant that my neighbor gave me last year. Needed a bigger pot. It was in this tiny little thing. And I just moved this plant outside from inside the house. It's a wonder that it survived the winter with the wood burner stove. And I didn't keep up with watering it very well. But there it is. It doesn't look too bad. I put some fresh dirt on the top and a new concoction of milk and turmeric and water that is supposed to be good to get them going. Here's my little table set. Here's my production table where I am working on things to put out in the flower bed. And yes, it's a mess, but that's just the way it is. And looky in here, it's a junebug. I'm sorry that he fell into this pot and he couldn't get out. I wasn't out here to save him when he did it, evidently, but that's the way junebugs are. But we are going to go on an adventure for Wild Wednesday. We are going down to the bottom of my property, and I'm going to show you the largest junebug that you have probably ever seen. So let's get ready and go. Okay, I had to lock the house because we're going to be going a distance away from the house. I brought my keys on my Mrs. G keyring. And I brought my pepper spray because there are coyotes and bobcats around down there. And I'm bringing a bag to carry the keys and stuff in and to bring back this big, huge junebug in. Let's get going. So we have to walk up the side yard, which goes way up here by the boat, up the hill, and I'm going to walk as fast as I can because, like I said, this is a little bit of a walk and you might get bored. But up there is where they came and cut a bunch of trees early in the year, and my husband's going to cut all that up for firewood. Yeah, it looks very different than it used to up here. All of our cover is gone. They were cutting everything that was 10 foot or less from the road. So I don't hear anything coming. Let's go. Walk down here on the curve. Lots of signs to let us know there's a curve. This is Memorial Day. I want to say thank you to all of the people who have served in our military to defend our country. I say with a grateful heart, thank you. I hear something coming, so I want to tuck in here really fast. Smile, you're on camera. That's for sure, you're on camera. So here's the lane that goes back behind the property. We're going to walk back here to where the junebugs play. And we're going to find this big, huge junebug. And like I said, this is Memorial Day and I've already gotten up. I made the bratwurst. I made the macaroni salad and the potato salad. And we had some food, everything we wanted. We didn't have a lot. There's just 3 of us. So the deer come out here all the time. My husband puts corn out just to feed them, just to see them, just to like pets. So this goes out here a ways. You can see deer tracks. Lots and lots of deer tracks. Here we are coming out where it's a little sunny. The creek is on the right side. Over there, and the house is over there on the left side, which you can't see it. The creek is on the right. We're going to be following the creek up the trail. There's lots of people that come here for the weekend. They have campers, cabins, so sometimes it's a little noisy on the weekend. And here's the path, and it's pretty dried up. I was afraid it was going to be muddy. Gotta walk out here a ways though. I think we're getting close to where the June bugs play. We gotta walk over here to the creek. And yes, we are going to get a tick or two on us while we're doing this. It's the way it is. But here we are, over at the creek. The sun reflecting on the water. And do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? There it is. The big, huge June bug. I got it. There she is. June bug. Hi, June bug. What are you doing out here, sweetie? You're picking strawberries to go with your strawberry pacifier. Oh my goodness, June bug. Are you? So here is June bug picking strawberries. Hi, June bug. June bug has not been on my channel since I got June bug. It was back in July of 2023, and Temu tempted me to get the app on my phone so that I could buy this doll for $20, free shipping and everything. And it's like, yeah, sure, you're making a Temu shopper out of me. But guess what? I bought June bug here. And then I just never bought anything else on Temu. For one thing, I couldn't stand the constant notifications and the spin the wheel and do this and do that. And finally, I just had to take it off. And I did put it back on another time, and it was the same deal. I just couldn't take it. So I think I better get little June bug back up to the house. But isn't this the biggest June bug you've ever seen? So I put June bug in the bag for safe transport. So far, I haven't seen any coyotes or bobcats. And there's also Bigfoot in this area. We have a Bigfoot club just a mile away from us in the local community. So what a beautiful day for Memorial Day. I hope everybody's enjoying their time with their families. Whatever you're doing, picnicking or just getting together and eating. But we say thank you to everybody who has served this great country, this great nation. Maddie Monday is hosted by 5 channels. Rebecca's Cloud Kids Nursery, Monica at Southern Reborn's Nursery, Carol at Sweet Snuggles Dolly Nursery, Life with Lois, and Maritza at Dolly Lane 19. Go check them out. This was my Maddie Monday. I'm going to show a picture of my sweet little mommy when she was a girl. My mommy was a sweet, sweet little thing. She wasn't a real strong woman. She wasn't loud or boisterous, and she could get nervous, especially if one of the kids got hurt. Was always gentle in dealing with us and soft-spoken, and I just thank God for a godly mother that I had. I've got to scoot up the hill because it's really just not safe to be out here by myself. The guys are fishing, so I thought I would make this little video. So I'm scooting back up. Uphill this time. More signs for the curves. You wouldn't believe how fast they take the curves out here. In fact, one day, right down there, there was a car flipped on its top. Teenagers taking the curves too fast. Here we are back. There's the boat. There's Nutty Lou. Hello, Nutty Lou. back to the flower bed.